So we just started normally without any introduction now, because that's what the famous podcasters do.
Oh, right, okay,
Alrighty.
do they?
So how are you doing? All right?
I'm
Doing
good,
all right?
good, thanks,
Good.
yes.
So maybe some people don't know you, so why don't you give a brief intro of who the heck you are?
So I'm Kelly O'Keehan. I live in Galladaff. I work part-time in here as well as part-time in a school.
Cool.
And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
I've trained here for 8 years coming in January.
8 years.
8 years.
Is it January you joined?
January I joined.
Was it?
Yep.
Was it like kind of like a New Year's thing
It
like
was,
we were
it
doing?
was a little black dress challenge that you were doing.
No.
And I
Oh
joined
my
it.
goodness, I'm embarrassed of those adverts. I'm embarrassed of those
That
things.
long ago.
Oh my
That
goodness.
Long ago. Yeah.
We're going to shoot some adverts after this here, like, and they're way better now. But I wonder if in 8 years' time I'll look back at these adverts and be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I said these things.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Because
Little black
everything's
dress.
always evolving and
Yes.
changing. So
Yeah.
little
That's
black
funny.
dress.
Wow. Very good. And then, do you remember like your first session and stuff here?
I do remember my first session here. Actually, I didn't make my first session here
Why?
because I just didn't come.
Why? Really? Why did you not come?
I was scared out of my wits.
Really?
Because I like before that joining this gym, I was not involved in anything sports related at school. I didn't do any sports. I did a bit of netball, but my PE teacher at school was a big camogie girl. So if you weren't in the camogie team, she didn't want to know you.
Okay.
So didn't really do much netball. So
Okay.
I didn't do anything like that. PE. I always forgot my uniform, and then
On
sports
purpose?
day on purpose,
Yes.
and then sports day I just didn't go to school. So I
Wow.
spent most of my years like in welly bits on a farm, as happy as Larry.
Really?
Yes.
I honestly would have never thought that.
No, so then whenever I joined, because I sort of found that how you eat and behave in your 20s is not how you can eat and behave in your 30s. It's definitely not how you can eat and behave in your 40s. So whenever I went back to studying, I went from being really active to like sitting all the time.
Yeah.
And I put on weight, so I wasn't comfortable at all. I was really conscious, just didn't like how I looked or felt. And then you put on the ad for the little black dress
Little
challenge.
breast?
Little black dress.
That was a different advert. That's a weirder advert.
And my husband was like, what about this? And I was like, yeah. So I messaged you.
Wow.
And then just like that, I was signed up and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I actually have to go to this now. So my first session didn't come. And then you messaged us like, oh, hey, what's? And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, I was busy with university work. And but I
Sure.
wasn't that busy.
That wasn't
I
the
had to miss my
reason,
session.
really?
Yeah. So I think if you hadn't reached out, I probably never would have came. But then I came the second time.
It's funny, we were just talking about that, about people, like how scared people must be coming to their first session.
Yeah.
And then like maybe how many people have never joined the gym because they don't want to come
That's
in.
it.
It's
that's
scary.
it.
Like.
And you have that wee voice in your head that's, I'll not be able to do this.
Yeah.
There's one's going to be in there much fitter, much stronger, going to make me look like I stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm not going to know what I'm doing, and I just don't belong in this kind of environment. But then I came, and I was glad I came, because after that first session, I was like, that was all right.
Yeah.
That was okay. I managed okay.
You need that first session.
Yeah,
you
and
need
people
that
did
first
speak
time.
to you whenever you
Aye,
came
it's
here.
funny
Like,
that.
it wasn't like they all ignored you.
Yeah.
Because at that time, it was like the big group of girls, it
That's
was all
right,
girls
yeah.
training. And then I've not left since.
And that was it.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of you. And then your evolution of becoming a coach now. You've been a coach for how long?
Coach, nearly a
Almost a
year.
year?
Nearly a year,
Yep.
and that has flew.
You've been a coach longer than that though, like without knowing it. You just
Probably,
been a leader.
because that's what I found. Probably that's what sparked it in my head. Like whenever my daughter Adine joined here,
Yes.
and maybe she wasn't doing something right, it used to like really.
But you're always harder on
Should I
family
tell
as
her?
well.
Should
like,
I tell her?
Yeah.
And I'd have been like, Adine, do this and whatever. And she's like,
Don't tell
then
me.
I just said to Michael, she's not doing that right. Give her a nudge. I always came better from Michael than it did from
Aye,
me.
of course.
And then she was like, why did you not tell me that? And I was like, because
Yeah.
you always eat me whenever I do that. But then I
Yeah.
was like, I might like this kind of like work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then I
love
remember
it.
like reaching out to you and be like, I'm thinking of doing like PT training.
Yeah.
Do I have what it takes? Can I do this kind of job? Like,
I know. I caught wind of you wanting to do it. I was like, yes, 100%.
yeah. And
It's
here
like
we
that's
are.
absolutely the job you're made for. And
Yeah.
funny, I was talking to our mutual friend last night, Julie, and she was saying like you were made for this. Like it's
No
funny
way.
that she would know that, and
Uh-huh.
only for knowing you maybe a year or a
I
couple
know.
of years.
Yeah, a year,
Haven't
2
seen you in a while.
years, 2 years.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and
Yep.
just it's funny
Yeah.
that like you're just made for the role, which the role is just personality and like communication.
That's it. And
How
like,
to get it across to people.
That's it, and just enjoying it, because for years, like I was in jobs that I wasn't fulfilled with. I didn't really want to
Sure.
be there, and I was looking for my passion, my job, and I've definitely found it now. And I think, you know, there's a lot to be said whenever you're happy going out to your work. It doesn't seem like work anymore. Because I remember somebody in here saying to me, Kelly, you're always smiling. I'm like, I can't believe I get paid to do this.
That's good.
This is my job. But
That's brilliant.
Found
That
my
is
passion.
brilliant.
Makes all the difference.
And so you've joined here 8 years. What's your training journey been like? Sorry, hold on a second. Let me just preface that with saying I don't actually like the word journey. Okay, I hate saying journey. Your journey. It just feels so cheesy to me. So I've come up with a new word.
Okay.
A quest. A training quest.
Okay.
Quest sounds like you've got a sword in your back and a shield, and you're just going to battle or something in your quest.
Well, my
so,
quest.
Yeah, now you're training. You're training quest.
My quest. My quest.
You can say journey, but I'm not saying journey anymore.
Okay, quest it is. So whenever I first started, it was just purely I wanted to get this weight off that I had on.
Sure.
That's all. I didn't care about my fitness or
Yeah, sure.
how strong I was or anything like that there. I just wanted this weight off. But I think within 12 weeks I had the weight off that I had put on over like the year previous to that. So then once I got comfortable, happy where I was at, didn't really track training, didn't really care what I'd done on here, sort of tracked a bit my calories whenever I was at home and sort of maintained that weight. But it was only there recently, as the last sort of couple of years, that I really developed the interest, and I know I have a passion for all things wellness, fitness now, and things, because I know, like, when I'm scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, like, my feeds is just full of like training videos and like fitness people, wellness people.
Brilliant.
That it's only recently that I do track my training, and I definitely think that. Now I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm definitely the leanest I've ever been. I'm the fittest I've ever been. But it's just now I know the importance of it. Like, I know I'm building my older person's body. I need to be strong. I need strong bones and muscles, because the wastage, like 1% every year after 40, or it's maybe even more, that statistic, but I just know the muscle depreciation, you know, so I want to stay at a nursing home. I don't want to be in a nursing home whenever I get older.
It's a good goal.
So I know the importance of it. So I do track now. I track my weights, so I know every week what I did last week, and I try to do that 1% better this week.
So like your weights and your squats and stuff.
My weights, my squats, my benching. And then with tracking of my calories, like, be more aware of what you're eating. And it's quite easy to be like that 90% good and then like go out and treat yourself at the weekend. It just doesn't mean that you have to stick to eating rice and chicken every day for lunch.
Yeah, you can be a little bit
relaxed and chilled.
It's good.
But yeah, that's where my training has been so far. So I'm just more invested in it, and I enjoy it.
Good.
Yeah.
That is the main thing, isn't it? You have to enjoy it.
Exactly.
So I've actually had a couple of conversations this week with people who have said, like, oh, I'd love to come to your gym. And I'm like, are you training at the minute? And they're like, yeah. And I say, do you like it? I'm like, yeah. It's like, why would you leave?
Yes.
Stick with that.
Exactly.
Stick with that, because that's, like, if you enjoy exercise, that is the main thing.
Definitely.
Even if you're not getting loads of progress right now, although progress should be top of mind. It should be the number one thing that people are getting, like progress in whatever way. But if you are enjoying it, that is a bloody good sign.
Exactly.
You must get there, and or not. You know what? Not even enjoying it. You got to tolerate it. If you can tolerate it, that's good enough.
Yeah, because then you'll go back.
Yeah. You got to go back, because it's so important. We believe in it so much. You've got to do it. You've got to do it for your life.
Yeah.
So if you can tolerate it, that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have to love it.
Exactly. Just do whatever keeps you moving, keeps you active. And then, like, you know, as well, like, people are wanting different things out of coming in here to train. So maybe some people aren't wanting to get that strong. They're just wanting to be in and moving, and that's all. And, you know, so, you know, everybody's working towards their own goals, their own aims. So it's just about, you know, prioritising that and working towards that, and just keeping active. And, like, the thing as well, like, whenever I first started training in here, I got the weight off and whatever, and started to know what I was doing. And then after a wee while, I was like, I'm just coming here to get fit. But then I started to notice, like, no, like, if I miss so many sessions, my head, like, my mood is so low. Yeah. And then I put the connection between, there is a link between training and being happier.
Of course,
and your mood being happier. So, yeah, like, I always say now, like, I come here more for my head than I do anything else, definitely, because you're in a bad mood, come here and train. Like, you can maybe walk on through them doors and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
and you've maybe ate everybody all day. You've been in the mood. You've been
Yeah.
in an absolute
Yeah,
bitch
or
all
you've
day.
left with an argument at home.
Exactly.
And you're raging
Exactly.
driving down the road.
You come in here and
Yeah.
then people speak to you and you have to speak back and you have to be nice, and then
Yeah.
you leave and you're like, I feel
That was
much
good.
better. I
Aye,
had to go
yeah.
home now and apologise to everybody that I was rude to.
Yeah, because you're a different person after exercise. So like, you know what? I'm a much calmer person
I'm
now.
okay.
I'm patient.
All's good.
Yes, I'm a good person.
I always like, you need to go to the gym. Just go.
Your husband's pushing you.
Yeah,
Like,
just train.
You need to go
Just
to
go
the
and
gym.
train.
You're crazy right now. Yeah, very good. And that's another question I had, is like, why do you train? But you've kind of answered it.
I
based on-
train for multiple reasons now. One of them being the head, the other one being for your strength, your mobility, getting stronger, and just for looking good as well. Like, you know, it's nice whenever you go out for a night out and you put on clothes and you feel comfortable and you feel happy in them clothes and you're not conscious. So yeah, it was recently there, like I undertook like a challenge. I put myself through a challenge after the last 5 weeks, and I just cut my calories way back because I had put on a wee bit of body fat.
Sure.
I had.
As you get
I
comfortable,
had stopped
sure, it
tracking,
happens.
and I was like, "Whoa, hang on a wee minute. There's more weight here again." So I just cut
That's
it all
good.
back, tracked my calories, trained hard, upped my steps outside of the gym, and I think within the 5 weeks it was like 7.5 pound I got off, and like that 7.5 pound makes a big, massive difference to how you look. And how you feel.
100%.
Like my energy levels even. Like I found
Really?
there a couple of months ago, you know, you were cooking the dinner and then you're getting into stuff in the evening, you're like,
Yeah.
I need to get up,
Half
I'm going to
six.
fall asleep. I'm not like that now. Like,
Really?
I
That's
left,
a big difference.
I
It's
left
funny
here
that.
after training at lunchtime, home, and I never sat down until I think about 6 o'clock. I cleared the whole house, top to bottom. Just the energy that it gives you. Yeah.
So, like, if people are watching this hoping for some like action steps, would you say like tracking your calories, actually being diligent with that, would be
Big
like the number
time,
one thing?
Big time, because whenever you
Is
have
that the only thing that changed really, apart from the steps?
well, tracking and my steps.
Okay.
Like my training's still the same. I'm still pushing
Consistent.
myself, doing the same as what I was
Sure.
before. So it was definitely just the
Was there
tracking
more of
and
a focus in your training?
more of a focus on the training. Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. Like my training, I always tried
normal,
to be
yeah.
strong in my training.
Sure.
Like, I would say that was normal. I didn't do any more
Yep.
training. I
When-
just
when I
always
like
had
it-
done my 2 nights or my 2-day
Yes.
trainings. And then I would have upped so I found out what my average steps was in a day, and I just upped my steps by maybe 1,000 to 2,000 steps each week.
That's important to just pinpoint, because like you didn't do 10,000 extra steps a day. You just did a little bit more.
Little
Just
bit
a little
more.
bit more, a smidge more.
Yeah, I just had a look and see what I was doing generally, because
That's
I'm
so
in school
good.
and I'm active all the time. I was hitting 10, 12K steps. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought, right, okay, 15 looks like an achievable amount. And that's maybe just an extra 20-minute walk in the evening if it was dry.
That's
And,
really important for people to hear.
Because like walking's free. And
Yep.
it burns calories.
Yep.
It's easy.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe at the weekends, I struggled to make that 15 sometimes because I wasn't in school.
Yeah.
And you maybe have your breakfast and you sit down and you scroll on your phone. You get up, you do something, you come back, you scroll on your phone. So I found that 20-minute walk in the morning, 20-minute walk in the evening, and that got me my 15K steps with like your daily activities. Like, you know, whenever you're a parent and you're looking after weans and tidying
Yeah.
up around the house, that you're pretty active anyway.
Yeah.
But it just took that 20 minutes. And then it was definitely the tracking of calories, because if you haven't tracked calories for a long time, you forget what 100
Yeah.
grams of something looks like. And you're like, is that all?
Yeah, is that it?
And that's like 200 grams, 200 calories for that. So, you know, you become more aware and just prioritizing foods that makes you feel fuller for longer.
Yep.
And I just found once I worked out what they were, I stuck to them nearly every week, just the same foods.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, and prioritizing protein.
Okay, cool. Prioritize protein.
Protein, that's
Yep.
the big one.
So protein each meal.
Protein each meal. So I started my day with protein, and then my lunch was high protein. My snack was always only protein. My lunch, high protein.
you feel
or my
fuller?
dinner, fuller for longer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
That's really important.
More satiated.
Great point. Great points.
Yeah.
Calorie tracking, high protein, steps, and then obviously training as well.
Training as well. And then you probably would have found like women with their cycles and stuff. Like it
Yep.
was maybe 2 weeks of the month where you were more hungry. And I would have upped my calories by 100 calories a day until I got over that period. You would have felt more hungrier. So it was just making sure that, you know, you were fueling your body with good foods that made you feel good, less sluggish, drink loads of water. Then if you did feel hungry, and that just
Brilliant.
kept you going.
Yeah, I love that.
And a cheeky tin of Monster here and there.
Yeah, yeah. 0 calorie drink.
That's
Yep.
it.
That's what it is.
That's it.
What's your favorite thing about coaching?
Coaching, I think it's the different people that you get to meet.
Really?
Like, you know, like that's what I was saying to someone in here the other day, like our Christmas night out. Where would you get that,
I know.
group of people under one roof.
I know, it's mental.
They're just so different. And everybody just has fun and accepts each other and a bit of crack. And that's what it is. It's the crack and talking to people. And I just love supporting people because you do, like, I can see myself in some people that all them years ago whenever I started, and they'd be like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. And you're like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, because you did.
We'll help you.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. You just maybe don't just need to step into an advanced way of training that movement. We'll get you another level, and we'll coach you through that, and you'll be there in no time. And then you see whenever they do it, they're like, what? I never would have done that. I never would have pushed myself to do that. And that's what's love like.
That's so rewarding.
Or somebody turns around and goes, I'll never get 5 of these, and I'm like, you will get 5 of these. You're going to say to yourself, I've got this. I'm going to do this. And then they're like, I did it.
And you can go home, I pushed her into doing that.
Yeah. Like Judy
It's
comes in here and she's like, oh, easy me then. I've got sore legs. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You can do it.
It's positive peer pressure.
That's it.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, you really fit this role. Like, it's really suits you.
Good. I'm glad.
That's good.
I'm glad. 41 and I've just found my passion,
41.
my job.
There you go.
Well, nearly 42.
Yeah. We don't count that until you actually are, so 41.
Exactly, 41.
Yep.
I'm just still
There you go.
41. Yep.
Beautiful. What's your top 3 favourite films? Do you have any favourite films?
I'm
Just
a
off
bit
topic?
of a nerd whenever
Okay.
it comes to films.
Interesting.
So, Dirty Dancing is still a top favourite.
Okay.
Harry
That's all
Potter.
good. Harry
Any
Potter.
Harry Potter. And
Any Harry Potter.
Any Harry
Don't
Potter.
any Harry Potter me. You got to pick one.
Chamber of Secrets.
Okay. Which one? Second.
I don't even know where that comes, that one. I
Really?
don't know.
I've actually never watched all of them.
Have you not?
No.
You have
I
to.
maybe will,
They're just
though.
so long. That's the only thing.
I don't think I'm going to ever watch them all
Why?
because they're too long. I don't think I'll have
Well,
that
then break it up.
Yeah.
Do you do
Yeah.
what you tell people in here?
Uh,
Break it up into 3 steps. Watch an hour now and an hour later.
I actually do that, but 30 minutes of TV a day, and
Yeah.
just watch or something.
Yeah.
But maybe should but
They're so good.
Maybe do it when the
They're
kids
brilliant.
are
I'm trying to
older.
get my Michael onto it, and then we can go over to London and do the studios.
Yes.
I need him to be interested because my husband's
kind of
like,
just weird
no.
if you go.
Because Adine doesn't like it. My husband doesn't like it.
Oh, really?
And then Fantastic Beasts. That's again from
You
J.K.
like that as
Rowling,
well?
the one that
Wow.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are
It's
a nerd.
amazing. The first
You are
one,
a
I
geek.
am a nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
Wow. Any more? Any other ones? Yeah, that's it. Harry Potter,
Harry
Dirty
Potter,
Dancing,
Fantastic Beasts,
obviously.
Probably Top Gun. It's just an all-time.
Yeah.
favorite. It's just one of them.
One,
where you're
number
watching.
one or number 2? You seen number 2?
Both are good, but I still
Aye.
think I like number 1.
Really?
Best.
That old school film.
Yes.
What about Dirty Dancing? How many times have you seen it?
Don't know.
Seriously?
Yes.
Loads.
Loads.
We watch it once a year?
Well, I haven't watched it now for quite a few years, but I'm sort of thinking, should I
Now,
watch it
now
again?
that you put it in your head, you will definitely
I
watch
tried
it
to
for the
get
end of the
Adine
year.
to watch, and she's like,
Aye,
no.
what is this garbage?
I'm like, have you ever watched this? And she's like, no. Do you wanna? No.
Really?
I'm like, it's good.
Does it hold up? Does it? I haven't seen it in ages.
Ah, it's
Does it hold
good.
up well?
It's still good.
Is
I
it?
remember years ago, me and my cousins, we used to have the wee cassette of it, and we used to sing and dance in the rooms.
Wow.
I think it was just you always wanted to be your
Yeah,
girl
aye,
that
of
danced.
course, aye.
Aye.
Yeah, and all the dudes want to be Swayze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.